Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to learn how to effectively ask about and negotiate your lease renewal.
That is such a timely topic, Emma. I know so many people who get nervous just thinking about talking to their landlord.
Exactly, Mark. It can be intimidating, but knowing the right vocabulary and timing can make all the difference.
I'm ready to take notes. Should we jump right into the basics?
Let's do it. We're going to cover everything from the initial inquiry to the final signature. Before we start the conversation, let's define three essential terms: lease renewal, fixed term, and notice period.
I've heard those, but let's break them down. A lease renewal is just staying longer, right?
Precisely. It's a new agreement to continue living in the property. A fixed-term lease has a specific end date, usually a year.
And the notice period is the heads-up time you give the landlord.
Correct. It's the amount of time required by your contract to tell them if you're staying or leaving.
Got it. So if my notice period is 60 days, I can't wait until the last week to decide.
Timing is everything. You should look at your contract to find your specific notice period.
What happens if I miss that window? Does it just end automatically?
Not always. Sometimes it rolls into a month-to-month, but you might lose your negotiation power.
So if my lease ends in July, when should I reach out?
Usually 90 days before the end is perfect. It gives you time to discuss any changes.
That makes sense. It shows you're proactive and organized as a tenant.
When you're ready, you can start with a simple question. Are you planning to offer a lease renewal?
That sounds professional. Is it better to call or email?
Email is usually best, so you have a written record of the conversation.
What if I want to stay, but I'm worried they might want the place back?
Asking early gives you the answer sooner. You could say, I've enjoyed living here and would like to discuss a lease extension.
I've enjoyed living here is a great way to start on a positive note.
Now the part everyone fears, the rent increase.
It's almost inevitable these days, isn't it? How do we bring it up without sounding like we're expecting the worst?
You can ask directly. Will there be any changes to the rent amount for the new term?
And if they say yes, do I just have to accept it?
Not necessarily. You can ask for a breakdown or see if there's room for negotiation.
I guess I need to be prepared for any number they throw at me.
Before you negotiate, you must know the market rate for similar apartments in your area.
So I should look at listings online to see what other people are paying.
Exactly. If similar units are cheaper, that is your leverage.
What if my apartment is actually cheaper than the market rate already?
Then you might want to sign that lease renewal quickly before they realize it.
True. But if I'm paying more, I can mention that in my email.
Hi, I'm calling because my lease is up in 3 months and I'd like to stay. Are you offering a lease renewal?
Hello? Yes, we'd love to have you stay. We are preparing the new fixed-term contracts now.
That's great to hear. Will there be a rent increase this year?
We are looking at a 5% increase based on the current market rate.
I see. I've been a reliable tenant, so I was hoping we could keep it closer to the current rate.
Let me check the numbers and I'll send you an official proposal by tomorrow.
If the rent goes up, you can try to negotiate a lease extension for a longer period in exchange for a lower rate.
Oh, like signing for 2 years instead of 1 to lock in the price?
Exactly. Landlords love stability. It saves them the cost of finding a new tenant.
What else can I negotiate? Can I ask about the security deposit?
Usually the deposit stays the same, but you could ask for a small credit for being a long-term tenant.
It never hurts to ask. The worst they can say is no.
It's important to understand the difference between fixed term and month-to-month.
I know fixed term is usually a year. Is month-to-month more flexible?
Yes, but it's often more expensive, and the landlord can end it with a shorter notice period.
So fixed term gives me more security, but month-to-month is better if I'm planning to move soon?
Spot on. Always check if there's an extra fee for the flexibility of a month-to-month arrangement.
I'll stick with the fixed term for now. I hate moving furniture.
If you've had issues, you can mention your past maintenance requests during the renewal talk.
Like, I've been patient with the leaky sink, so maybe skip the rent hike?
Basically, if you've been a low-maintenance tenant who handled small things yourself, remind them of that.
It shows I'd take care of the property and I'm easy to work with.
Exactly. A landlord would rather keep a tenant who respects the property than risk a new one.
Good point. My history of on-time payments and few maintenance requests is a strong selling point.
Don't forget to ask if the utilities will still be included in the new lease.
Wait, can they change that in a renewal? I thought it stayed the same.
They can change the terms. They might move from all-inclusive to you paying for electricity.
That would be a huge hidden rent increase if I'm not careful.
Precisely. Always ask, will the arrangement for utilities remain the same as the current lease?
I'm definitely adding that to my checklist of questions.
Before signing, you should research your local tenant rights.
Do these rights vary a lot depending on where you live?
Absolutely. Some cities have rent control that limits how much a rent increase can be.
Is there a specific place I can look for this information?
Check your local government's housing department website for a handbook on tenant rights.
Knowledge is power. I'll make sure I'm not being overcharged legally.
Hi, I received the renewal offer, but the rent increase is quite high. Can we discuss a rent freeze?
We are seeing high demand in the area, so we have to adjust to the market rate.
I understand, but I've never missed a payment and I have no outstanding maintenance requests.
You have been a great tenant. What if we reduce the increase by half if you sign a 15-month lease extension?
That sounds much more reasonable. Can you send me the updated fixed-term contract with those terms?
I will get that over to you by the end of business today. Once you get the document, don't just sign it. You must review the entire lease renewal contract.
Even if they say nothing has changed but the price?
Especially then. Sometimes new clauses about subletting or early termination are added.
Subletting is when I rent my room to someone else, right?
Yes, and early termination is the fee you pay if you leave before the lease ends. You need to know these costs.
I'll read every single line, even the fine print.
Negotiation styles for a lease renewal vary globally. In some cultures, it's very direct. In others, it's more subtle.
I've noticed that. In some places, people never negotiate rent. They just accept it or move.
True, but in many English-speaking countries, professional negotiation is expected and respected.
So I shouldn't feel like I'm being rude by asking for a better deal.
Not at all, as long as you are polite and back up your request with facts about the market rate.
Good to know. Being polite and prepared seems to be the universal key.
Let's recap. Our top 5 phrases are you offering a lease renewal? What is the new notice period?
Is there any flexibility on the rent increase? And will the utilities be included?
And finally, I'd like to discuss a lease extension for a better rate.
Those 5 cover almost everything we talked about today.
They really do. If you use these, you'll sound like a pro.
I feel much more confident about my own renewal coming up next month.
Hey, Mark, let's practice a formal call. You be the tenant, I'll be the leasing office.
Okay. Ring, ring. Hello, I'm calling to inquire about my lease renewal.
Hello, we'd be happy to discuss that. Your current fixed term ends in 60 days.
Yes, I'd love to stay. Are there any changes to the rent or the notice period?
The rent will go up by $50, but the notice period stays at 30 days.
Thank you for the information. Could you email me the official lease renewal offer so I can review it?
Emma, can I practice being the landlord this time? I want to see how it feels to receive the request.
Sure, I'll be the tenant. Hi, Mark. I'm interested in a lease extension for another year.
We would love to keep you as a tenant, Emma. You've always been great with maintenance requests.
Thanks, Mark. I was looking at the market rate and noticed it's slightly lower than my current rent.
I see. Would you be willing to sign for 18 months if we keep the rent the same?
That sounds like a fair negotiation. Let's move forward with that.
We did it, Mark! We successfully negotiated the lease renewal.
It feels so much better than just worrying about it. I'm glad I know my tenant rights now.
And you saved money by checking the market rate. That's a huge win.
Definitely. Now I can stay in my home without any stress about moving.
That's the best feeling. Great job practicing today, Mark.
Thanks, Emma, and thanks to everyone for watching. Good luck with your renewals.